Hey there, if you're running a retail business that's starting to grow, you know the headache I'm talking about, inventory management. So today, we're going to give you a super clear checklist to finally ditch those messy spreadsheets and get a system that puts you back in control. Yeah, does this look familiar? If you're in e-commerce, I bet it does. You're juggling stock levels. You're constantly worried about overselling something. Trying to track it all by hand? It's not just a pain. It's a major roadblock to actually growing your business. But hey, you are definitely not alone in this. And here's the crazy part. This problem is actually getting worse. Out-of-stock situations have recently shot up by a whopping 250%. And look, this isn't some small inconvenience. This is a direct hit to your sales and your customers' trust in you. Right. An out-of-stock situation is pretty simple. It's a lost sale. Plain and simple. But what's really scary is that almost a quarter of e-commerce businesses openly admit they don't have a clear view of their own supply chain. That's the blind spot. That's exactly what leads to those expensive, frustrating, empty shelf moments for your customers.
But okay, there is a way out of this mess. We're going to walk through a really clear 5-step plan to get your inventory totally under control. Just think of this as your personal roadmap from chaos to clarity. And it's built specifically for small retailers just like you.
Okay, step 1. This is the foundation for everything else we're going to talk about, classifying your products. You've probably heard the saying, you can't manage what you don't measure, right? Well, that's what this is all about. Good classification is the key to getting clean, accurate data you can actually use. I mean, look, the experts are all saying the same thing. Optimization is the name of the game. But how can you possibly optimize your inventory if you don't have good analytics? And guess what those analytics are built on? Yep, how you categorize every single thing you sell. So, how do you actually do it? This funnel is a perfect way to visualize it. You start really broad at the top. Think department, like apparel. Then you get a little more specific with category, say men's tops. Then you drill down again to subcategory, like t-shirts. And finally, you get to the nitty-gritty, the specific attributes like size, color, material, all the little details that make each item unique. All right, so once you've got that classification system locked down, you're ready for step 2. Building your item master database. This is basically where you take all that beautiful organized information and pop it into one central hub inside your new software. The big question, right? Which software is the one for you? Well, it really just depends on your scale. If you're starting out, something like Zoho or even QuickBooks has some really powerful inventory tools. But if you're a bigger operation, you might need a full-blown ERP that's enterprise resource planning, something like NetSuite that connects inventory to everything else. The key, no matter what, is to pick something that's going to grow with you. Okay, that brings us to step 3, barcoding. And let me be clear on this. For speed, and especially for accuracy in tracking your products all the way from the loading dock to the customer's hands, barcoding is totally non-negotiable. And here's a little fun fact for you. Did you know the very first product ever scanned with a barcode was a pack of Wrigley's gum? Yeah, way back in 1974 at a grocery store in Ohio. So this tech has been around forever, but honestly, it's more essential today than it's ever been. So what's your game plan for this? It's actually pretty simple. If you're selling stuff that already has a UPC barcode on it, fantastic. Just use that. But if you make your own products, you're going to have to create and print your own unique barcodes for every single item, right as they come in the door. Okay, deep breath. Your items are classified, they're in the database, and they're barcoded. Now we get to step 4, perfecting your product listings. This is all about how your product looks to the customer online, and frankly, it's where a lot of businesses drop the ball. And this really gets to the heart of it. Think about it. Online, you're not there to be the salesperson. Your product listing is the salesperson. The photos, the description, all the specs, that's your pitch. And if it's a bad pitch, if the cataloging is poor, it leads directly to poor sales. It's that simple. So what makes a great listing? Well, you need a crystal clear name, a description that actually makes people want to buy, great photos, non-negotiable, and all those detailed specs, size, color, any other options. Getting this right isn't just about helping customers find you, it's also crucial for you to be able to track and restock everything correctly. And now we come to it, the final, and I would argue the most powerful step of all, integrating your inventory system with all of your sales channels. This is the magic step. This is what pulls everything together into one single, reliable source of truth for your stock. And why is this so critical? Well, just look at this. Industries like electronics, apparel, they are getting hammered by stockouts. An integrated system is what stops this from happening. It makes sure your stock levels are always correct, everywhere, all the time. It's your best defense against ending up on a chart like this one. And the consequences of getting it wrong? They're pretty severe. When a customer lands on that dreaded out-of-stock page, almost half of them are just going to click away and buy from your competitor. Even worse, about 10% get so annoyed they'll go post a negative review, which can really hurt your brand's reputation. So here's the bottom line. Tracking things manually in a spreadsheet is totally reactive. It's always a step behind, and it's just begging for errors. But an integrated system, that's proactive. The moment something sells on your website, your inventory is updated on Amazon, in your brick-and-mortar store, everywhere. Instantly. It physically prevents you from selling something you don't actually have. Yeah, and this quote just nails it. If you've got more than 100 products, let alone a few thousand, trying to keep up manually, it's just impossible. Integration isn't a nice to have. It's the only way to do this right once you start to scale. So you go through all 5 of these steps. What's the payoff? It's a complete transformation. Seriously, you go from that constant stress, that feeling of chaos from manual tracking, to a place of real clarity and control over your own business. And the benefits are real, tangible things. First, you stop overselling and disappointing customers. Second, you can actually plan your purchasing ahead of time because you finally know what's selling and what's just sitting there. And maybe most important of all, you get your time back. All that time you are wasting can now be spent on what really matters, strategy, and actually growing the business. And that really brings us to the final thought here. Once you have a system doing all the heavy lifting, all the day-to-day mechanics of inventory, it just opens up a whole world of possibilities. So I'll leave you with this question to chew on. Once your inventory is automated, where are you going to focus your energy to grow?